reunion.
Yeah. Oh, thank God the chairs are the right height. Did you see that last night? Anyone who was here last night, we were down here, huh? Oh.
We were seriously thinking of giving you 4, so you would be above everything.
They got all the chairs on top of each other. You can't see it. Great.
So obviously, continuing to spin off from earlier questions, does anybody have any questions for Michael?
I'm in a serious mood tonight, okay? Dead serious.
Why don't you start over there?
Jokes.
Why did you choose McGear to change your name to?
The question was, why did I change my name to McGear? Why did I have that choice? Because, tell you what, Billy will understand this, when we were all kids, the normal thing, the normal terminology for something that was great was the gear, right? That's the gear. Oh, look at that bird, she's the gear. Wasn't it? She's the gear. She's the gear. You know, really was, that was normal terminology around Liverpool. It only became sort of mass hyped when it came to America. It became gear and all that. But it was just very straight Liverpool. Oh, look at that, she's gear, isn't she? She's sure, look at man, she's gear. And so that was a reason for the gear part of it. I think if you'd been in other rooms, it might have been Mike McFab. Oh, aye. It nearly was Mike Dangerfield. Pretty good. After J.P. Donlevy's Ginger Man now. But it didn't, it became McGear because it sounded Irish as well. You know, McGear. Oh, hello, Mr. McGear. I had a little to it. So that's why McGear.
I'm going to throw in a question because you want to do serious stuff.
Typically you. Well, you probably got your bloody tape recorder on as well, haven't you?
I have 2 tape recorders on. Probably one of the silliest songs I ever heard you do was Dance the Do, a song that followed the McGear album. And essentially... Essentially, it was a little ditty that went dance the do, dance the do. But what I wanted to ask you about was the contest that I found a press release for. There was about a dozen beauties holding Michael, like, above the crowd. And he was supposed to judge, I think, some dance contests across all of England. What I want to know is, was that press release hype, or did you actually go and judge dance contests, choose a winner, and what did they win?
Can't we get back to the beautiful girls that were holding me up?
Tell us about the beautiful girls.
I've been away from home, man. Good Lord. Relax a little bit. Yeah, now the first one was great. Because Pan's People were the group on the telly on top of the slobs. And so I organised for them. I got Warner Brothers, I think it was, Warner Brothers Records, to me and them, and they were holding me up and making do shapes, so we're going to do, oh, absolute hype, as you say, absolute dreadful hype, and I loved it. And so then the actual thing of going around the country was a contest or something, and I actually went round all these dance halls, some grotty bloody dance halls I went down to, and judged the competition of all these people dancing the do. It's called Dance the Do. I think it was originally called Do the Do. And then we changed it to Dance the Do to get a dance out of it. There was no bloody dance, it was all hype, it was all great stuff, I love it. And naturally, when you do hype, you get nowhere. Do you know what I mean? It died a death, so if it had stuck to the original thing, when we were recording this thing, this McGear album in Stockport, and who was, the 10cc came in once, and they heard this, Dance the Do, and they said, hey, what's that? That's really original, really different, because 10cc were always into something that was different, right? You'll notice the influence on this Our Kids' new album of Eric, and they heard it and thought, oh, that's different enough to get the market. But in the end, when it actually came out as a record, it had my cousin Kate Robbins, who is now getting pretty big in England, as a mime artist, you know, mimicker. When you do voices, what's that called?
Lip sync?
No, mimic. Impersonator. An impersonator. And she was last seen on the what's his name, Mike Yarwood. So a big program we have, he's our main sort of well-established impersonator in England, this guy called Mike Yarwood. And she was Fergie to his Prince Charles on the last one. So she's doing very well, she's very good. And she does a great Cilla Black. She does a better Cilla Black than Cilla.
Billy Preston.
Right? And was he?
Billy Preston was it?
Was he then?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. And one of the sax players, you can see him on this photograph, he's like looking around at Richard going, what the hell are you doing up there on that piano? It's on the pic. And there's another pic of behind of little Richard's head. Oh. Alright, it's a quick, do you want to hear a little quick story on Richard? It's what it was, you can actually see on the picture what happened. It was like there's a hole in the back of that arch thing. Remember the arch thing behind? Then you'd go on and the drum kits and all that. Well, Richard was right up top with his piano. Then I think the Beatles stuff was down below because they were probably second in. You know, he was the boss, wasn't he? Richard, yeah. And then but Richard used to fancy Ringo, right? Used to like him, right? Yeah. Well, then, you know, just platonically. And he'd be playing like this, and there was a hole in the back of the backdrop. There's a little hole, and like we'd like peep through, and whenever Ringo like peeped through, Richard would go, and he'd see Ringo, be easier, wouldn't it? Richard, Ringo. Little Richard would see Ringo through the thing, and smile, you know, he'd say, through the hole, right? And I thought, hey, that's going to make a great photograph. This has got to be it. So I had a Rolling Magic, which is like a twin lens reflex. So the image, you could only take it through the bottom lens. So you couldn't see what you were taking, right? So I set it up, put the thing against the hole, and I said to Ringo, right, Ringo, come here. You there. And there's like a cable release. Now, what you do, I'll say now, and you press the shutter, right? Yeah, all right. So, and then I popped over the side, right? And so waiting for, and I said, right, Richie, now. He said, pardon? I said, now. So he clicked it. And I got a lovely picture of the back of little Richard's head. I'll show you before you go, you'll love it. Lovely old Prince, beautiful.
So what was the Little Richard trick? Yes.
Also, on the voice. Yeah, that's it. Well, he just had that, he could do that raspy thingy and the high falsetto, all that, naturally. And he's one of the few people that Richard ever acknowledged as somebody that could assimilate his voice, could like copy him to perfection. Richard was, you know, even put in thingies saying, years ago, that, okay, that white boy is okay, he can, you know, near enough. That's okay, that's good. And a hell of a compliment from that bugger.
Way in the back, third row from the back.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right, now let's step back and get some shots of both of you. Okay.
Okay, Mike.
Michael!
Smile, wait.
The real way from the camera. Hey, Billy, come on, pick with us. Oh, so there it is. Right, see you over the signing bit. Thanks again. See you in a minute, Bill. Cheers, Walt.
See you later.